In today's Canva Quick Tips, we're going to learn how to create a seamless Instagram carousel. We'll also learn how to cut it up into equal squares that you can then upload onto your Instagram profile. Let's begin our project by going over to File, create a new design, custom size, and let's assume that we want to create 4 posts for our carousel. So although our height will remain the same, our width should change into 4 times 1080, which would be 4320. Then let's click on create a new design. And now we have a basic template. Our next step should be dividing this template into 4 equal parts. In order to do that, first let's ensure that our rulers are enabled. If they aren't, go into File, View Settings, Show Rulers and Guides. Once that's enabled, let's go over to Elements and grab a square. Let's right-click on this square, align page left, and then align page top. This ensures that our square is perfectly aligned to the top and the left. Then let's select our square, press Shift, and drag it down. As you see, it's a perfect square of 1080 by 1080. Then go over to your left margins and drag one out until it snaps to the square. Select your square and simply slide it over to the right of the margin. Drag one more margin until it snaps to the square again. Then slide your square one last time and create one last margin. Having done that, you can go ahead and delete the square. So now we have our template perfectly divided into 4 squares. It's time to design. Depending on the design you're looking for, add all the elements you need. I'll just quickly add a bunch of elements in here to save us some time. So using elements from Canva, I've added a bunch of abstract shapes to our design. I've also added some frames. The important thing to remember is make sure you have elements that are overlapping between 2 pages. That's what gives the seamless effect to our Instagram carousel. I'll also add a background to this. So I'll just draw a square and I'll quickly add it as the background. And then you can go ahead and add a bunch of little pictures to your frames as well. So once we've done all of this, our overall design is ready and we have a pretty good idea of what part of the design we need to go on what page. So finally, I'll select all our elements and I'll group them. And now comes an important part. We could simply download this as a PNG and then slice it up. But the drawback to that would be it would no longer be editable. What if you realize after slicing this up into 4, you want to change some text? You'd have to come back to this template, change it, export it, and slice it again. So instead of doing that, let's create a new template and I'll show you how to keep it editable. So let's go over to File, create a new design, and this time select Instagram Post Square. Make it a little smaller. Let's go over to our initial design. Let's select it, copy it, and paste it onto our new square template. You'll realize that the background hasn't come in. You'll have to paste that separately. So we can go ahead and do that as well. Let's send it to back. And so our entire design is now on a square post. Then simply grab it and extend it. Next, let's go over to our grid view and duplicate this into 4 pages. Then let's go back to page number 1. That stays as it is. Then on page number 2, click on position. And if you want to know the exact position it needs to go to, go back to our previous design. Our first margin is at 1080. So in this, type minus 1080 and it will automatically shift to our second slot. Then for page 3 again, refer to your second margin. It's at 2160. Go to position, type minus 2160 and it will move to our third slot. And for our final page, we can simply align it to the right. And there you have it. You quickly have the exact positioning on 4 square posts. Then all you need to do, go to download. You can download it as a PNG into 4 pages and then simply upload it onto your Instagram profile. And of course, until you export these as 4 separate images, you retain the ability to edit any part of your template. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.